Hey guys, this is Ranchin here, bringing us for commentary. This is going to be the second set in Group G of the Ro32, the Bigfile MSL. So sorry this group coming in late, but I wasn't actually sure whether I was going to commentate it. Moletrap did it quite a few days before me, but you know, I live a busy life, so that's what happens. Anyway, this is going to be between ZerO and Stats on Odd Eye 3. We're going to have, oh god, everything left me right now, but we're going to have ZerO at the bottom right-hand position. In blue is the Zerg player. We're going to have Stats at the upper left position. In, I believe, white as the protoss player. And gotta admit, I'm looking forward to this one. Been a while since I've seen Stats around. He had a somewhat decent MSL run in the Nate MSL back in 09. He made it, I believe, to the quarterfinals where he was knocked out by Jaedong, completely swept 3-0, but not that was a massive surprise or anything. Swept by the then eventual champion. So we're going to see. I think he's definitely a candidate to get out of this round of 32. I favor, I got to say I favor ZerO, I think. Or do I? Crap. I forgot my own predictions. Honestly, it's not like I have them written down. I just have them in one little video. And I mean, your own thoughts kind of change. You know, it's like, that was what I was thinking at the time. But yeah, Stats, of course, one of the members of KT Rolster, the champions of Pro League, and first place finishers, and we're going to see whether they actually win the playoffs as well, where they are seeded, of course, to the grand finals. It's kind of funky that way, that format, where the winners of the Pro League themselves get seeded all the way to the finals. So, but you know, hey, that's the advantage you get for being the best, I guess. Simply the best, down, better than all the rest. Yeah, but ZerO, a player that has had throughout the time extremely impressive ZVP. So it's kind of sometimes show his inconsistency. I mean, he is technically the ace of the Woongjing Stars, but he's unfortunately a player, like many of the Stars players, woefully inconsistent in the big matches. You know, Free also has that weakness, I believe, in that unfortunately sometimes in the clutch when you really need them, they will lose to some of the other players that fulfill the same roles. You know, ZerO, they're capable of beating any player, but often in the clutch situation, they unfortunately find themselves losing. The closest ZerO ever got to a title was the semi-finals. I think he might have actually gotten to the semis more than once. In the first MSL I believe I ever cast, the Lost Saga MSL, he got to the semis, I believe. I do believe he got to the semis there. Was also actually, I believe, in the semifinals in the Lost Saga MSL. So yeah, twice, or actually the quarterfinals. I'm confusing myself, but I'm sure he's been in the semis at least once, maybe even twice. An extremely powerful player. Gonna go for a 3-hatch build here. Might get, oh yes, gonna get delayed by that probe. Stats gonna be a little bit annoying. That probe are very low on shield, so you can't be annoying forever. On the opposite side, we do see Photon Cannon alongside a gateway, and just a couple of probes gonna stay there, just in case the Zerglings try to go for a run by, but that's, I don't think it's going to happen. Those 3 probes in there, that second cannon might come up. I might go for a second cannon to just make sure that the Zerglings don't try anything. Going to get a scout inside the main right now with that probe. Where it's going to be up in a little while, but yeah, I have seen this where it's going to be in a little while. I have seen ZerO play some extremely interesting, creative ZVPs, going for queens, beating players like Bisu with mass queens just to spawn brooding all of his High Templars. It was just a new Heartbreak Ridge, and I do believe I cast that with Nuke on, I think, his channel. So go check that out. Just write Duel in the search uploads on his channel, and you'll find that. Or just write Bisu and ZerO. You know, just it'll be there. I should make a playlist with those duels with me and him. I think he used to have one playlist on his channel where you and I, where him and I had duels, but I think he just got sick of adding to that all the time, so he just decided, meh. I understand that making playlists a bit of a pain. Probe Scout gonna get picked off by a couple of drones that are like, you're annoying, meh. Going meow all the time. That's annoying. We're gonna be on the way. So fairly standard place so far. Stats is, I believe, just a very standard Protoss player. A decent one, definitely a decent one, definitely decent Protoss backup on KT Rolster. Kind of after when Violet kind of started slumping just a little bit. From what he says, he started slumping just by playing Flash Feud, and so yeah, they needed some more Protoss backup. So Stats kind of filled the role. Also, unfortunately, Tempest from that team didn't quite manage, despite having been very promising player didn't quite manage to fulfill their role of backup protoss on that team because they always lacked one. And we're going to see how KT Rolster will be next season, because despite having Flash, I think they might not be as strong next season. We're going to see how it goes. It depends heavily on how their players go, but they don't have the presence of Luxury anymore, of course. The whole point of Luxury was having a good backup to Flash, having a guy who can fill in the ace role. Well, the 4GG, I guess, has kind of been doing that, but you kind of want better race distribution. But, you know, if all their players, they have a lot of promising players, so if KT can actually get those going, that's a lot. But yeah, I've been talking a lot about the teams, not as much about the players. Apologies. Robotics Facility is halfway there. Second cannon up at the front just to help out, just in case of possible Hydra bust. Although I don't think he's actually worrying about that too much right now. Spire halfway done. Going to be Corsairs out there. It does look like Stat's going to try to go for Corsair Reavers here. And Corsair Reaver, a build I really enjoy. Cross positions, you know, he's trying to go for that aerial maneuverability instead of trying to go across the map with a ground army, where there's a chance of being caught out in the open by a more maneuverable Zerg army, and you know, it's just not the position you want to find yourself. So instead, he's going to try to take those guys, try to take air superiority, control the map, and deny the Zerg player more additional chances to expand. Corsair Reaver extremely useful for that. Extremely useful for doing economic damage overall. Desperately trying to get inside the main, going to try to get the spot on that robotic facility, because you don't know unless you get the full 100% spot in robotic facility, you might be expecting instead. There's a chance that the protoss player is just going to go for observers instead, although it's not really standard play to go for robotics facility into early observatory against your Zerg opponent. Even if you're expecting him to go lurkers, you can actually usually delay those observers for a little while. Instead, go for that Citadel, work on Templar Archives to start things off, get those high Templar. Still don't see any Hydralists out there. By ZerO, do see 3-4 Corsairs out there for stats. We're working on weapons 1. Still don't see a Citadel, so speed on those Zealots is going to be significantly late. Just additional gateways coming in right now, and a Citadel coming in just there. So the maneuverability for stats is going to be the fact it's going to have Corsair Reaver. Going to definitely want to get speed upgrade on those shuttles, those Scourge so deadly against them, unless you have that. Of course, that's the whole point of having those Corsairs. Kill off some Overlords, kill off some Scourge as well. But still, with speed on the shuttle, it just makes it so much easier to survive Scourge. Just fly around or crazy, do those dodge maneuvers, and of course, Protoss players these days practice a lot with just microing their shuttles around, just so they can avoid those Scourge coming right at them. Also working on weapons 1 upgrades, I believe, for those Corsairs from that core. So stats so far just getting his build going. Not quite. Might wait on the second Reaver before he pushes out. Or actually waiting on a shuttle, rather. Got his rear before he shuttled, just in case of a bust at the front, because he was really kind of staying inside of his base right there with his Corsairs rather than going out and doing too much in the way of hunting. Don't even actually think he went across the map with the Corsairs. Didn't do much of that. Mostly just staying at home, trying to deny scouts. But now, oh man. Thankfully for him, did not get, oh man, also very close by those Scourge. I think he got 2 Corsairs hit instead of losing 1. He just lost the shields on 2 of his Corsairs, so he's going to be able to recover that and stay in this. But still not pushing out yet. Observatory going to be on the way as well. He's going to want that. Has a decent count of Corsairs. Wants to be careful not land into those Hydras. If he wants to go pick stuff out, want to go do that carefully. Almost yet again be hit by Scourge, but not quite. Still, ZerO getting a lot of Hydras out there now. And finally, 2 Reavers, 1 shuttle. Still no speed on that, so definitely got to be careful out there. Still no speed on the Zealots as well. Temple Archives on the way, so he is going to go for the full tack. And just now, as I say, that speed kicks in, so the Zealot's finally going to be able to go out there and hunt some of those Zergies. Have to be very careful how he wants to engage his army here. Those Reavers are a big boon, but he doesn't have much in the way of support. There go. 2 Reavers come down. Scarab's going to come off. Shuttle not going to be hit, so the Reaver's going to stay in there. Going to get 1 nice Scarab off on those Hydras and Zerglings. He's going to push ZerO all the way back here. Shuttle going to get shot. Oh, weak Shuttle there, losing all of his shields and a little bit health damage as well, so let's be very careful of that. Flying in a little bit too close to those Hydras, but they're at least forcing ZerO back a little bit. Gonna try to go for that 3rd base. Here's a sunken colony there. Several Hydras as well. Gonna try to get across that base. But weakness here. He could get pinched because the Hydras are gonna be coming in from behind. Are those Reavers gonna be enough to hold him here? The Reavers are gonna be a little bit out in the open. Several Scarabs gonna come off. The Hydras though a little bit split up. ZerO playing a good game here. Although stats, losing one of his Reavers, but did manage to pick that one up. He's very critical health right now. The shuttle also at critical health. Might even lose that. Only a couple more hits from the Hydra. 1 hit from a Hydra, and that shuttle is going to go down. doesn't have speed, so the shells are going to be flying all the way back home right now. Stats engaging a little bit audaciously there. Did manage to pull back